How you doing, everybody? This is Craig, and you're with me now for day 4 of my haunted month of horror, October 4th. The movie for today, and I'm going to keep with the theme so far that we've established, trying to take some maybe lesser-known films, and ones I enjoyed, because I want to encourage you to go see them. Or go, not see them, go rent them, download them, find them on Amazon, etc. Movie for today is an odd one. It is Even Lambs Have Teeth, which the title bothers me a little bit, and it's for a silly reason, but yeah, we know they do. Lambs have teeth, that's the thing. But aside from that, I get the idea. Kind of lambs, they're vulnerable, they can still fight back, so I'm on board. I watched the preview, and I'll be honest with you, the preview, the first thing that came to mind for me when I saw this preview, when I'm trying to decide what I'm going to watch, because I am trying to pick things I haven't seen for these reviews. And the problem is, since I said I want to only review stuff I like, I'll be honest with you, there's some stuff I've seen that's been bad. Maybe that'll be a whole other video, a whole other time. Maybe we'll go through the pain involved in doing a movie a day throughout October. But I saw the preview, and a weird connection. As soon as I saw the preview, here's what hit me. It's like Yoga Hoses meets I Spit on Your Grave. Now, Spit Out Your Grave is a gritty classic, not for everybody, nor the sequels, because it's violent. There's rape, sort of like the same as in Last House on the Left, especially the original one, not the remake. Just visceral, violent scenes. They can definitely be tough to watch. It's some of the hardest things to watch in horror. I can watch somebody being gutted and stabbed and decapitated, and I don't bat an eye. You see some of the grisliness in a movie like I Spit on Your Grave, it's like, it's a little tough. But I get it, because they're trying to take us on an emotional ride. So by you seeing the travesties perpetrated on the victim, and then when they get back at him at the end, and that's not really a spoiler, because that's how the movie's built. It's a revenge movie. When they get back at him at the end, it feels a lot better. And the Yoga Hoses component, I love Kevin Smith. I do. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I'd like to see him do more horror than he's done. Although I think you can argue that Tusk and Red State and Yoga Hoses, well, you know what's going to argue Yoga Hoses isn't really truly horror, but it's in that vein. And he also directed the first episode of the series Reaper back in the day on the CW. Might have still been called WB at the time. And it had the actor who plays Dale from Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. He did really good with it. So I like Kevin Smith. So I almost had to set that up, because I did see Yoga Hoses, and yeah, it was as bad as most people who were smarter to not see it thought it was. It was campy. I watched it with my niece, which was good. She's of that close to their ages, so she liked it a lot more than I did. But I still want to give this movie a chance, even after making the Yoga Hoses component connection, because that was just what my gut said. And I still have to watch it. It opens up with a very weird, random scene. They're playing a little game, and randomly taking pills, and a bunch of people are taking ecstasy, running around the woods, and stroking trees, and yeah, just weird stuff. Like, I think I even posted, I was watching it in a horror group, and it's like I said, I'm 5 minutes in, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I didn't think it was going to make the cut for a review movie, but as I kept watching it, the dialogue sort of worked. It was campy, it was cheesy, it was unnecessary in some cases, but it worked. So it worked in setting up the relationship between the two girls in it, who Kirsten and Tierra, Sloane and Katie in the movies. I'm sorry, I butchered there. Sloane and Katie in the movies. Now, they did a really good job, now, of just about everything. But after they got abducted, which the abduction was a little bit too easily done, but once they got abducted, and the really horrible stuff started happening to them, the one thing I am glad about for this movie, although some people say, no, you need to see it. Well, people say that, I worry about you. The rape and the violence, the multiple rapes, they didn't show you anything. The closest they came to showing you something was somebody putting out a cigarette on one of the girls' stomachs. So, I think Sloane's stomach. So that was good. So you didn't get that part of it. But on the same token, afterwards, the scenes with the girls, they didn't seem like these horrible things just happened either. So the acting depth maybe wasn't completely there. But aside from that, everything else they did was fun. And you know, again, I'm not going to spoil. The thing to spoil here would be the deaths and how it was done and who was involved in it. And you do have sort of a side story running underneath it, who is a very smart uncle that she has that is helping and trying to help save them. Although, no, you'll see who saves who. But when they do get, when the bad guys, when the villains do get their comeuppance, it is done well. The first guy who's killed, she uses something better than Negan used in a completely different way. The next guy, the one that was sort of a throwback to, I got images of Motel Hell because of the pig mask or even the saw creatures. Um, and this does pay homage to a lot of cool horror movies, a lot of cool scenes. If you ever saw Crystal Lake Memories, you know Kane Hodder talked about Part 7, that the weed whacker kill he did was, hey, you know what, I saw it, I wanted to use it. It's the only time I haven't really seen a movie, a kill like that in a movie. We do get one of those kills in this movie. We even get somebody being told to do something horrible to a family member or else, and then you can sort of see what happens there. I'm going to tell you this. This movie, to me, is really a good movie. Now, is it a really good movie like it's going to win an Oscar? Or is that it's on everyone's must-watch list? No. Is it something I'll rewatch? Yeah, I'll probably revisit it. I'm not going to look to own it. I mean, if it came in a horror pack, which this is sort of their type of movies, I'd be happy with it. You know, but the reason I'm high on this movie is because, and I know some people get mad at me when I say this, like, oh, it shouldn't matter. I factor budget in a big way when it comes to doing a rating, and I've said this before on my channel. Like it, for example, I comfortably gave like a 7.5. I gave a 7. I actually thought again I moved up 7.5. You know, whereas a movie like Killer Pinata, I give like an 8. And Killer Pinata is, you know, as far as a class of movie, you can't, you know, hold a candle to it. However, Killer Pinata's budget was $3,000. This movie as well, I was trying to get some budget information for you, and all I found is they started like a Kickstarter of sorts. It wasn't a Kickstarter, it was like Indiego or some site of that ilk, and they're just trying to make 10 grand. Now they only raised a few thousand. They only raised like 3,000. They still made the movie, so they got money from somewhere. So I don't know what the budget is. I can't imagine it being more than, you know, probably cost less to shoot this movie as it cooks. I could be wrong, you know. Figure keep going with the Kevin Smith connection. Um, and that said, the kills in it was all obviously no CGI anything, and it was all practical effects. What you did see, you really didn't see too much of the grisly stuff. Like you didn't see, like, you know, which is good when it case to the assault. But I'm telling you what, if you're looking for a fun watch, and it's a quick watch too. I'll be honest, that's one of the things that pushed me to watch it as well. Because when I was doubtful with the yoga hoses thing, I'm like, oh, it's like 80 minutes. Ah, you know what? I got 80 minutes to watch it, and I'm glad I gave it to. As far as how it rates with the other movies we watched so far, because I'm going to try to be cognizant of that. Budget-wise, since it's by far the lowest, it sort of gets that extra bump. I still would watch probably Spider-Hole, which was the first one, more than anything. But folks, comment down below. Hang with me for movie number 5. I may sort of break trend for movie number 5 and go to what I consider a classic, because I've talked to people recently, and there's a movie from 1983 that I am a huge fan of, and there are actually some people that like, oh no, I never saw that, I gotta get around to it. You know, I get it, I'm old generationally, you know, stuff from the 80s might be passé. But thanks for checking out my channel, and I will catch you next time.